Oh, it's working this time. Okay. You guys can jam with me for a bit. I found good background music. Okay, is my team here? Hey, hey. Welcome, welcome. Hey, Tommy, thank you. I was practicing right before this live. Just kidding. Oh. Okay, team, let me know when you're on. Woo woo! You know what I just decided? I just decided I was just going to tell you guys how to get clients. Yeah. That's normally something that I would do a paid program on, but I'm not. I'm literally going to break it down for you guys. But I think you're going to be shocked at what it is. I really think you guys are going to be surprised at what this is about. All right, my team still hasn't notified me, guys. Hold on 1 second, okay? Hang out, enjoy the music. I'll be with you in just 1 second. My team's going to share this. Hey, Marlene. Hey, Jacqueline. Yay, who else is here? Say hello to me. I'm just checking with my team to make sure that they can share this. Who else is here? Say hello. If you're on the replay, hashtag replay. If you have never been on any of my content or seen any of my lives or done any of my programs and you're brand new to me, please say hello and let me know that you're brand new. Let me know it's your first time. Hi, Mama. Aloha. Thank you for the love heart showers. This topic's gonna be fire tonight. Listen to this. Do you know what I even did? I even actually wrote notes down, which I haven't done in like 3 years. But I knew like, nope, this topic's really important and I know me and I will go off on whatever tangent I want to go on because that's what I do. So I actually gave myself a structure to stay on task with you guys so that I said everything I wanted to say to you guys. Because, hi Amy, how are you? Probably we know, but a kick in the ass. Maybe. Because a lot of people think that they need to know the structure, but you'll see when I get into this, and I don't care, I'll tell you guys that too, it doesn't matter. I'm telling you guys the real thing, and I just got my ever-loving butt kicked going through this myself, which is I think why it was like a reminder, and it just dropped in so good for me. Okay, so hold on, I'm just waiting for my team still. Oh, nope, she got back to me. Okay, cool, yes, she got it through. Yay, welcome. Okay, so if you're on the replay, hashtag I'm here. If you're from, let us know where you're from in the comments. Tell me where in the world you're from. I know we usually get a lot of Canadians and Australians. We get the guys from the States. Where else are you from? By the way, I have to tell you guys about this. So I found this wine company. It's called Dry Wines Vineyards. And it has no sugar, no carbs in it. It's all organic. And it has very, very little alcohol in it. And it tastes like really dry, good wine. Almost like wine mixed with kombucha. Like it's really dry, and obviously because it has no sugar, but it's amazing. I love it. It's so fresh, and I can drink 2 glasses of it during the weekdays and feel perfectly great the next day because there's very little alcohol in it. I love it. Yay, we got Canada in the house. Where else are we from in the world? Who else is here? Hi, Laura. I should probably just look at my computer, huh? Okay, let me come find you guys. We're gonna get started. We're gonna get rolling. So I promised to break down for you guys how to get paid clients. No fluff. I'm literally gonna tell you no BS. Like this is how you actually get paid clients. And I'm curious to see what comes up for you guys. I'm curious to see, did you already know this? Or was this really not on your radar? For some people, I have a feeling you're gonna be like, yeah, I already knew this. Hi Linda. And for some people, it's gonna be like, I never really friggin' thought about this. So I can't wait to serve all of you guys. Hey Ruth. Hey Saya. Yeah, Yukon, Canada. Girls up where there's beauty. Okay, hold on. I'm just gonna get to the live on the computer really quick so that I don't miss any of the comments. New Hampshire. That's right. You are in New Hampshire, aren't you? Okay, great. Now I can see the comments. Okay, so here's the deal with this. Hold on, let me shut the music off. Okay. Oh, before I get started, yes, I had a bunch of questions come in. Success Hacking Templates is a 30-day program. The doors are open right now. I'll tell you more about it as we go, like after I give you this value. I meant that in a good way because your value is always so dang good. Yeah, I knew what you meant, girl. Right here. I knew what you meant. Thank you, too. Aaron, Montana. Hello to Montana. Okay, so success hacking templates is open. I've never created anything like this, and I'm just gonna say this bluntly from the very beginning. I don't care. I'm shameless. If you never do another program of mine, do this program. The level of stuff that I'm dropping to you guys in this is next level. It's amazing, right? So it's the essential shortcut your success templates for heart-centered leaders to monetize, organize, and scale your life and business. mandyperry.com/templates. My team will drop that in the comments for you so that nobody's distracted, because I know there was a lot of questions coming in about that. Yes, the doors are open for officially the first 10 people will get a private VIP Q&A with me. So you can ask anything that you want on that private Q&A. And it'll be just for the first 10 people that enter into the program. That is your bonus for your fast action bonus. Cool? Okay. Sarah said, hi, Dale. That's so funny. My cousin and my mom are on here. Love you guys. Thank you. My team just dropped the link right there, so you guys can check that out when you want to. Okay. So, and feel free to ask any questions about the program. I'm happy to answer. On the page, you'll see that I listed out all 30 things. You get a whole bunch of, it's crazy. It's so next level crazy. You guys will love it. Okay. So, here's the deal with actually getting paid clients. You know what? First, I'm just going to do a tiny rundown of what most people are doing to get clients or to make sales. It doesn't matter whether it's client or making sales. If you're a thought leader, if you're an artist, even a musician or a coach, let me think if there's any other fields this would apply to. This applies to you. If anything else pops to mind, I'll let you guys know. But this is like the no bullshit, a seasoned person, you know, in the field. I've been doing this not that long. It's been 3.5 years, but my business went global after 2 years. That like the very beginning, it was the end of the first year that my business actually went global, and it's been completely organic, which I know is hard to believe. I have people in the field who are way ahead of me, who have been doing this for 30 years, who ran their entire business doing ads and stuff like that, that have been like, how are you doing this? Like, it's just blowing the mind of people. Like, how could I possibly scale from year? Now, remember, I was a nanny. For those of you who don't know me, I was a nanny making $400 a week 3.5 years ago, right? I was for 10 years, I was making $400 a week. I was going to school full time. I was trying to figure my shit out. And, you know, like I grew up, I went through a lot of abuse, a lot of that kind of stuff. Like I was just a regular girl. I was on antidepressants, anti-anxieties. You know, I was a mother of two different baby daddies, like all sorts of shit that anyone would be like, yeah, she's not going to be like, you wouldn't point at me and be like, yeah, she's going to make it, right? By all intents and purposes, I would never have been the girl that made it. The first year in my business, the business hit 380K. The end of that first year, it went global. The second year, 500K. The third year, it's on track for $750,000. Now that is mind blowing, okay? Now, I can promise you that that didn't happen by me showing up online and proving that I have knowledge and teaching you guys how to go do something and sort of just, you know, proving my worth to people or, you know, holding back or being socially acceptable. Like for an entire year, every other word out of my mouth was an F-bomb. You know, I went through a whole lot of different growth phases in my business. And if you guys notice in my business, I want you guys to pay attention to this because this is really big. Because I want you to understand that there's nothing different about me than you. There's no reason you can't have massive amounts of clients and wait lists and selling out every single one of your programs. It's absolutely available for you, period, end of story. And I really mean that when I say that, okay? And I'm sharing, I'm pulling back the curtain tonight and basically letting you look over my shoulder into the wisdom that I have through all of the investments, the $500,000 investments that I've made, the epic people in our field that I've worked with, and the experience that I have now building this kind of business this fast. So what I watch most people do is they try to prove the value of what they're doing. And so they're basically giving information and knowledge, right? And they're trying to prove what the value of what they're doing, and they're trying to sound smart, and they're trying to, and the other thing, that's what I was gonna say, that's right. If you notice my business, it's not fancy. There's no funnels. It's not fancy. I did one professional photo shoot. I hated it. It was so brutal. It was like torture, but I did it. And then every other thing is like, it's all selfies. It's just selfies from my iPhone. I make my own graphics. They're not very fancy. They're kind of just half-ass put together, but because I don't give a crap about that stuff, right? Yes, packaging matters. Yes, there's, you know, different kinds and levels and tiers of, what's it called, brand for your, you know, for a company and your business. And of course, eventually I'll get fancy. Maybe I'm assuming that I'll get fancy eventually. And for some people, maybe it feels like the way where I'm at is fancy, but I can promise you for a $750,000 global business, this is not fancy, right? So all of those kind of things where people spend all of their time, none of that shit was ever necessary. And by the way, in the Success Hacking Templates program, everything that I've chosen, if you guys, when you guys later go check out that program, everything that I'm giving to you guys is the things that matter and none of the shit that does matter. Like for example, I teach you how to hack and make it look like professional photos, like someone's taking photos of you with your iPhone by yourself. Like this is the crap I teach you guys because the rest of it doesn't matter. I'm going to teach you guys how to make it easy. And let me just tell you, if I did it, if I scaled in record time, I literally smashed so many records doing it in the amount of time I did, which I didn't know I was doing. I had no idea. I just thought that's probably what everybody did, and this is how the field works, and you just show up and you do this work and this is what happens. And it wasn't until later that I looked back and was like, oh, this is a really rare, unique thing that I did. So now I understand that, but I didn't in the beginning, right? Oh, is it freezing for anybody else? Or is that just my mother? Let me know if it's still freezing for you guys. If it's freezing for anyone else, make sure you comment and let me know. Okay, so now that we know what it's not, right? It's not telling people how to do stuff and giving tips. It's not, sorry, I got something in my eye. Cat hair, probably. My cats are brutal. It's not giving people tips. It's not proving your worth. It's not trying to show people it's smart. It's not being friggin' fancy. And I don't say this to be insultive at all. I mean, we're all human. This is what we do. Every single one of us are prone to do these kind of things. And that's the way our culture teaches us too, right? It's basically the way that the culture has, it's fine here. Okay, good. Thanks, Susan. That's the way that the culture has taught us to be. So it's not a surprise that that's what we're doing. But what I'm going to teach you is it's not instinctual, right? Some of you may have done the work where you're starting to pick up on that this is what the work actually is, but I'm going to teach you a counterintuitive way for you to actually get paying clients right now, okay? All right, it's fine here. Thanks, Aya. Okay, now, here's the overarching view of it. The way to get paying clients is to, sorry, there was a fly that was just distracting me. The way to get paying clients is to show up big in your own life. Now, I'm going to break this down and I'm going to literally teach you exactly what I mean by this. Power, people in their power attract other people in their power. Does this make sense to you? So a lot of times my clients will come to me and they're complaining. They're like, either people keep saying that they can't afford my stuff, or, they can't afford the coaching, or they can't afford my program, or they're not doing the work, or they're not having major breakthrough, or I don't have the kind of audience that I want in my, on my Facebook or on my Instagram or on my email list, or, I want to scale out past this, or, whatever it is they're feeling or thinking, they're feeling like whoever's coming to them is not the caliber of person that they want, right? Our work is to lead ourselves first. We go first, right? And when we're in our power, we will attract other people that are also in their power. When we show up and we invest and we do the work and we're holding that tension and pressure and we're staying in the game and we're pushing our foot to the pedal, we attract other people who are doing that kind of thing. So unfortunately, what we're seeing is a massive amount of people who are playing small and who are, sort of dabbling, and they're getting really caught up in the things looking fancy, and they're kind of comparing themselves to other people, and they're doing a lot of stuff. I'm not saying they're not working hard. They are showing up and they are working hard. Unfortunately, they're doing all of the opposite type of things of the things that are actually going to make you magnetic, so you're drawing in those high-end clients, people who will show up, people who will do the work, people who will invest heavily, and people who will stay in the damn room, right? So for me, the room is, when you invest in something, when your soul calls you to something and you feel called to it and you say yes and you invest and you're like, I have no idea how this is going to work out. The first investment I ever made, I had just come off of welfare. And I made a $26,000 investment. I was shitting myself. I was sitting in my kitchen crying and sobbing, trying to make it someone else's problem because I didn't want to show up for it. I was freaking out, but I also felt called to it. And I also know when you put your ass on the line and you put yourself in a position where you're required to show up, you will expand and you will grow, which is the whole entire point of this, right? So when you show up big in your own life, then you will have the skills and the wisdom in order to be able to lead other people. So basically, you're taking the machete, you're going out there and you're clearing the path so that there's a path for other people to walk through because you went first. I go first, I lead the way, I do the work, I show up and do the thing, I do the thing I want my clients to do. Do you know how many coaches are out there that have actually created, let's say, a $5,000 program, but have never invested in a $5,000 program? You cannot hold space for that. That is not a long-term solution. Now, you could get lucky and put it out there and you could even hold space for that person, but you are not going to be able to effectively sell, right? Because now that I've invested hundreds of thousands of dollars in myself, Now that I've been a person who, when I had no money and I had no idea how it was going to work out, I came up with that first payment and had 11 more payments that I had to come up with. I had no clue how I was going to do that. No clue. And the shit that I became, because I put myself in that position and had to come up for it, now when clients come to me and they're like, oh, but I don't have the money. That shit don't fly with me. I don't feel bad for you. I feel excited for you. I feel excited that you're in a position where you are required to show up differently than the way that you've been showing up, because you're going to grow and you're going to expand. And guess what comes from expanding and growing? Happiness. I was still in unemployment my last. Hi, Amanda. To invest $2,500 in a coach after committing to another coach that didn't feel aligned for $2,000. I was still in unemployment on my last check. Got a night job that invested $25 after committing to another coach. Yeah, listen, it's all about alignment and integrity. It's not smart for you to do an investment when you feel like I'm being impulsive or desperate, or I think this is a magical pill. This is magically going to fix everything. Stay away from those investments. You need to tell yourself the truth. Like, in order to do this, right? Let's say somebody wanted to sign up for my Diamond Mastermind, right? And that's a one-on-one access to me, etc. In order for me to make the commitment to make those monthly payments or to pay in full for that Diamond Mastermind, the way I'm showing up right now would have to shift. I would have to scale to the next level. So when you're making an investment that's worth it, like, okay, this is either I'm savvy enough to know that, like, okay, like the templates program that I'm doing, that's not a lot of tension, right? I made that incredibly cheap because I want everybody to be able to afford it, right? For some people, it's going to feel like a lot. For some people, it's going to feel like a ridiculous small amount. It is what it is, but I made it very affordable for people. That is just I'm smart enough to recognize the massive amount of value there, and I'm going to grab that and snag it, right? But there's other things like maybe the Diamond Mastermind, where when you show up for something like that, you have to commit to becoming a different you. And that is where that is what we're talking about right now. And I'm not just talking about an investment with a mentor or joining a program. I'm talking about hiring a nanny at home. I'm talking about hiring your first assistant or that second or third team member. I'm talking about investing in someone else to, the business manager, or organizing something on the back end. I'm talking about, having cleaners come to your home to free you up from doing the extra stuff. I'm talking about any kind of investment. I'm talking about paying the $1,200 for the gym membership for the year, or whatever the thing is for the yoga studio that you want to go to. I'm talking about when you feel called to something and you actually back yourself and you go first, something that you're expecting your clients to do, and you get to ask yourself, if my client shows up the way I show up in my life, would they make it? Would they get all the results that I hope for them to get, that I know that they can get if they showed up fully committed and actually committed to the thing, followed through, showed up, did the work, and trusted themselves, trusted the process along the way. Does that make sense? Hello, hi back. Does that make sense to you guys? Okay, so this requires bold moves, right? It's going to require you to be bold. It's going to require growth, actual growth, right? It's going to require being under pressure, because you're putting yourself in a different position. If you hire your cleaner and all of a sudden I went through this was so real for me. So you hire your first cleaner and all of a sudden you're feeling like all this guilt and like I should be doing it myself, and I can't believe I'm spending, $400 a month for this person to come clean my house a couple times a week, and I should be doing that. And oh my God, what if I don't make up that money, et cetera, right? So for some people it's going to be that. For other people it's going to be like, okay, I'm investing this $60,000 for the year. I'm going to hire Mandy one-on-one every single week for the whole year. I'm going to pay the $60K up front and hire her for the year. Right? Like, it doesn't matter where we are. It's about being under pressure. And it's about when your soul says, hell yes, that's what I need. And you actually back that, and then you put yourself under that pressure. And some people think being under the pressure is unhealthy or it's bad and it's supposed to be easy. Yes, it is supposed to be easy. The way that it's easy is by stop resisting the thing you're being called to and allow yourself to do it and trust the process instead of freaking out about every single little step along the way while you're making that investment. Does that make sense what I'm saying? Tell me if you understand what I'm saying, because this is really big, okay? So you're going to have to make bold moves. You're going to have to understand that there's going to be a process of growth. You're going to be under pressure. You're going to have to say yes to your instincts and say yes to your desires and outgrow those old bullshit patterns. Hi, Rebecca, right? This is what's required. This is what I'm saying. When you are going first, I'm just going to have a real conversation with you guys. That is it. End of story. Thanks for the love hearts. Yeah. I'm just like, this is what it is. If you are not putting yourself under the pressure, you're not outgrowing those old patterns, you're not making the bold moves and saying yes to your instincts and yes to your soul, even if it doesn't make sense, you're like, how the hell is that going to work out? You still do it and you follow through with it. Now you're going to draw in, you are stepping into your power, you are standing in the fullness of what you're capable of, and now you're going to draw in those kind of people. But when you're playing small and you're holding back and you're just kind of like, well, we'll see what happens, or I'm going to try this, and maybe I launched a program but it didn't really work and I still had a week to go, but I didn't push through. No. We do things until. If you're running a program, you run the damn program. No matter what you have to do to get people in that program within your integrity, we throw everything at it because I'm running the program because that's what I committed to. We do it until what's working, what's not, and we shift that. And when you show up at that level, you can trust that people are going to be magnetized to you because there's something so different about your energy. Your confidence level is going to be through the roof. Right? When you back yourself and you keep your commitments to yourself and you're showing up big and you've done the work that you're calling your clients to do, your clients are going to understand that. Now, here's the big piece of it. When you've done the work that you are calling your clients to do, you know their voice. You know exactly what's inside of their head. You know how to speak to them. I can predict everybody here. Basically, I can predict what you're going to have coming up. I can predict, once I talk to you for, even a quick 5-10 minutes, depending on how vulnerable you are, I know exactly what your patterns are. I know what your justifications are. I know what your excuses are. I can basically predict what's coming up for you, and I can tell you exactly the work that you can do to shift and navigate that and get on the other side, right? Because I've done the work relentlessly. I'm constantly putting myself under pressure and going to that next level. I fail miserably. I go big. I make mistakes. I brush off. I go again. I'm constantly in situations where if you heard and you knew the stuff that was going on, you'd be like, holy crap. But it doesn't feel like that to me anymore. And it won't feel like that for you either, because you learn we are built to withstand pressure. And when we put ourselves under constant pressure, we learn to just adjust to it. It's just the new normal. And we just enjoy the process of growing and expanding. And we learn to really, truly trust the process. So we're not freaking out about every little process along the way, right? So, it is about you understanding that when you're marketing and when you're talking to your audience, the reason why so many people are giving tips and giving how-tos is because they actually haven't done the work themselves. And I'm not talking about like, hey, I lost the weight, or hey, I made my first 10K in the business, or hey, I did whatever. I'm talking about being the human being that you want your clients to show up as. Literally, that's what I'm talking about. So if you were your own client, would you fire you, or would you be super excited about you? Right? Like, who are you in your own life? How are you showing up? And are you being what you're looking to draw in? Because like attracts like, right? Like attracts like. And that's just the way it is. Okay, so it's really not just about strategies. Yes, girl, do what it takes. Hello, Macy. I love that name. I was going to name my daughter Macy. I named her Bailey, and then I didn't hear the name Macy until like a couple months later. And then I was like, oh, if I had heard that name, I would have named my daughter that. Okay, so when you've walked it out, you will have the voice that resonates with others, and they will buy your offers because you can predict what they're going to do, where they're going to get stuck, what the real work is, what the bullshit is, and what's real. And they can tell that. They can sense that there's something very clear and very real about you. And this is what your clients will say to you. I tell my private clients this all the time. You know you're on track with your marketing when your clients are like, Mandy, it's like you're in my head. Girl, it's like you're reading my brain. Oh my God, you're speaking right to me. My clients are constantly saying that stuff in my comments and on my marketing. Right? They're like, oh my God, it's like you're right in my head. Yes, I know, because I walked that out already, fully, right? And then the reason and the attention of this Facebook Live tonight is because I feel like there's this talk out there about how, it gets to be really easy, and it does. And I'm going to break it down one more time. I know I said this kind of casually once, but I'm going to break this down because it really does get to easy. You don't have to go do 80% of the shit you've been doing. You don't have to do, and I really mean that. I really freaking mean that. As a matter of fact, not only do you not have to, you shouldn't be. Doing it is going to hold you back, which is why I created the templates program. These are the things we're focusing on, guys. These are the very specific things. All the other bullshit doesn't matter, right? So it's not about doing all of that other stuff. It's about doing the bold, brave work that's going to move the dial, okay? So when you've walked it out, what happens is in your marketing, you're going to know you're going to have powerful things to say because you're going to have walked it out, and you're going to have wisdom and experience, and you're going to have it's really calling their ass to more. The voice inside, that confident voice inside that has the wisdom and the know-how and the voice to be able to speak to your audience in a way where they can hear you, and the fog separates and they're like, oh shit, that is why this is happening. Like, oh my God, she's so right. That so resonates. It's like she's in my head. Fuck. If she knows why this is happening, then she definitely can help me get to the other side of it. Right? Yes. Okay. But you cannot have that voice. And of course, you can go to coaches and like, I teach my clients that voice a bit, but it's not the same. And it's great if someone can teach you it, because then you're double timing, right? You're doing the work and you're showing up and you're walking through it, and someone's teaching you that marketing voice. That's amazing. That's double timing is incredible. Nothing wrong with that. However, learning from a book or learning from even a mentor who's just handing the words to you is not the same as you having that passion and that clarity because you've done it yourself. And that's it. End of story. Right? So it's not about strategy. And the strategy is so easy. I teach it in the templates program. I literally teach you exactly how I would get into it tonight, but it has nothing to do with this, right? I'm going to teach it to you in the templates program. How I built my business is so freaking easy. It's so simple. It's just so basic and so simple. And I teach everything in the strategy program. So, in the templates program. So you don't have to worry about that. Tonight, it's not about that magical strategy. No, you're telling them the exact truth. I can attest to this. Yes. Thank you, Amanda. High five. Right? Okay. So yeah, I teach that, how I did it, and it's really easy. And everybody always wants to know that. And I'm just not getting into that tonight. That'll be in the templates program, but that's not what it's about, right? Anyone can do it. And you'll see that in the program. But this is about being the person that you want to attract, right? So I remember when I was teaching my audience, like, hey, for engagement, stuff like this, right? Every single person on here, and thank you, like seriously, thank you from the bottom of my heart. It means so much to me. There's a part of you that is okay with identifying me as someone that's in a leader position, right? Just like if I'm engaging on someone else's stuff, I identify with them as a leader or a peer or someone that I recognize and I'm okay with, sort of basically publicly. We don't think about this stuff, but it's like I'm publicly identifying with you guys and you guys are publicly identifying with me, and there's like a soul connection and there's like an admiration and there's a mutual respect that's happening. Otherwise we wouldn't be engaging on other stuff, and you guys don't engage on other stuff of people's that there's not a mutual admiration for, right? So, and that's just the way it is. So it's about actually understanding that when you are being the person you want to attract, like actually does attract like, and when you are being the person that you want to attract, they will naturally have that draw to you, and they won't mind engaging with you publicly because there'll be the identity that happens. This is just a human soul thing. That's what happens when we go through it and do the work, right? Okay, so I know it's hard and scary, right? I've invested in mentors and platforms and teams all way before I was ready. And here's the truth. I'm going to be super vulnerable with you guys for a second, okay? I went through so I made a move, and now, by the way, the business scaled that first year, 380K, the second year, 500K, the third year on track for 700K. That was all and that second to third year was also while moving across the country, going through a divorce, et cetera, et cetera. So we all have excuses for why we can't have clients and why our business can't thrive. But if we need an example of someone, let this be an example, because I'm so just your average regular girl. And if I can do it, anyone can do it. And that's just the way it is, right? And lucky for me, I had a mentor that I watched be able to they went through a divorce and all this other stuff, and their business still thrived, because it's not about that crap. It was always about, because in those moments, I kept choosing things that were in alignment with me, and they were hard. And choosing to have a team, build my team and expand my team while I was going through all that stuff, or invest in mentorship when I really just wanted to contract and curl up in a ball and just rest easy for a little while. Here's the truth. I did it for a couple months. I did. And it was the worst couple months of my life. And I've admitted it before, and I'm going to say it again. I'm not going to lie to you guys. We are joyful and happy when we're in a state of expansion and when we're growing. And when you deny the thing that you know you're called to do, when you actually kind of brush it off and you don't follow through with it, we're miserable. You're going to go to bed, and you're going to sit there and you're going to toss and turn, and you're going to wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning to pee, and then you're going to be thinking about how you didn't show up and wondering why this is not working or why it's not scaling as fast as you want to, and you didn't follow through with that thing that you wanted to. And then the next day you wake up and you're like, crap, now I have today's work, but then I also have yesterday and the day before's work because I wasn't showing up big those days. Versus what it feels like when you put your ass in bed and you know you showed up with excellence today. I showed up with excellence today. My soul said invest in that, and I did. My soul said hire that person, and I did. My soul said get that support, and I did. My soul said do this launch today, charge this much, and I did. I backed my soul. And you go to sleep and you rest easy and you wake up, and now I did the work today so that tomorrow when I wake up, I'm ready for tomorrow's work. And now this 1% shift that happens every day, 1% more, and all I had to do, and it's not about this person or that person or comparison, or my business has to look a certain way. It was always about you being 1% better than the person that you were yesterday. And when you become that person, it's not even possible that you can't get clients. It's not even possible. How could you possibly show up with that level of excellence in your life, that level of integrity, that level of showing up and keeping the commitment to yourself on the back end, and then showing up to let people see on the front end and people not being magnetized to you? How is that even possible? It's not even possible that I wouldn't get clients. Right? And I'm going to say this, and I know this is super blunt, but you guys know how I roll. I just love you enough to tell you everything, even if some people will judge me for it. That's okay. I'm not worried about that, right? Let me just tell you how it's possible that I can put a post out there and in 30 seconds have made a 20K sale on one Facebook post, and in 3 minutes make a sale for 40K on one Facebook post. Consistently. I've been doing these drop offers and they always sell 20K, 40K, selling off of a sales page for $12,000 with no enrollment calls, no nothing. How is that friggin' possible when even most of the people that I know in my world never do things like that? For little old me that's been doing this for 3.5 years, regular friggin' girl, how is that possible? It's literally the stuff I'm talking to you guys about tonight. It's not all that other stuff that we think it is. It's really not the strategy. Yeah, the strategy is great, especially being consistent doing the strategy that I teach you guys in the templates program. That's freaking amazing. It is. But that's not it. That will support you and it'll expand it and it'll 10x all your results, but that's not it. The real work is for you to actually do the things. Oh, you're so right. Of course. Yes, girl. The real work is for you to actually do the things that will help you to grow and expand and stay under that pressure and do the hard and scary things. And it's about knowing and understanding that every single person ahead of you did the hard and scary things. And so when we hear the people who are like, but it's too hard, and like, let's say I have a client who starts freaking out about money, right? Of course I love you. I love you to pieces. I understand that you're freaking out about money because that's what people in our culture do. I also am not going to cater to that shit because I was there like 7 million times. I'm still there half the time because I'm always going to the next level version of myself. So I'm always in that tension and pressure, and that's not gonna sway me. That's not gonna move me. When I see you have a nice little temper tantrum, I'm gonna love you and I'm gonna laugh with you, and then we're gonna scale past that fucking temper tantrum because it doesn't matter, because that was never the thing that mattered. Your work is for you to stay shifting on where I'm going, what's working. I feel myself expanding. I feel myself getting better. My soul said this, and I have no idea how this is gonna work out, but I'm gonna do it anyway. And oh my God, it's not working how I thought it was, not happening fast enough. And nope, I trust the process. I know everything's happening for me. We hear these kind of things all the time, these mantras for our mindset and stuff. Let me just tell you, there's a reason that they're mantras. There's a reason that people say to meditate. There's a reason why people tell you to journal, because 80% of your success comes from your mindset, and that only backs everything I'm telling you guys, and that's hardcore science. That's like, you can't argue with that. You can't say, well, that's not true. You can't. Well, you could say that, but that would be ignorant, because it's very much true. It's very much proven in science. 80% of your success comes from your mindset. Why do you think it's so powerful to be in the rooms and the containers with other people who are doing similar work and around mentors who have a very strong mindset around the stuff that you're trying to do? That way, when you come to me and you're like, I'm freaking out and I don't know how I'm going to pay my bills and I didn't get any clients and this didn't work and blah, 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 and I'm just kind of chuckling because I know what's happening is something in you is trying to mature. This is happening for you. There's some mischief and some bullshit going on that you haven't scaled and you haven't cleaned up, and you're being called to it. And so you're in this tension that feels like crap because you have some prediction it's going to last forever, but it's not. You're just in a season of cleaning up something that's been there for a while, and you're kind of stuck there and you're not surrendering to it, and you're not allowing the process to season you and take you to the next level. And I don't know how long you're going to stay there, and I don't know when you're finally going to fully surrender, but I'm going to support you and love your ass while you do. But I'm certainly not going to, nothing is wrong. You are right on track. This is exactly what it's supposed to look like. And this is the reason people don't get clients, because they're not connecting the back end work of being the human being in power and keeping your word to yourself and showing up and actually letting the power flow through you, and that wisdom and that voice and that courage and that everything else, the strength that comes with it, because you did the work, you invested, you showed up, you hired the mentor, you got the support for the areas of life that you need the support for, right? Maybe you're a health coach and you teach people weight loss and you don't need support in your weight loss because you've got that under control, but your business is shit. And you're frustrated about it and it's not going how you want it to go. You've been trying to scale for 2 years and you haven't gotten it to scale. Whatever it is, get the support for the thing that you actually need, right? And maybe you're a business coach and your business is thriving and doing incredible, but maybe your health is absolute shit, and you're going to pull in support for your health and have someone teach you like, hey, this whole weight loss thing is not actually about the food that you're eating and if you're exercising. It's actually everything to do with if you're living your purpose or not. So if you're bored as shit or you're in tension or you're out of integrity with yourself, you are going to keep eating that shit. And even when you eat healthy, your body's still going to translate it as friggin' stress. And you need someone who's calling you out on that shit, right? So it's like really about getting clear what support that we need and being really honest about that and then calling that support in. Does that make sense to you guys? And I just want to say this one more time. If you notice, my engagement isn't super high. I don't have some super high email list or anything. I think on my platforms, I have like all of 10,000 people, which for my income is incredibly low. There's people who have been doing this for 5 years longer than me, and I make the same income as them. And I have less engagement. I have less people on all of my platforms. I have a small email list. Everything's growing, and as we go, it just keeps growing, but I never made that stuff super important. All my stuff is friggin' selfies. There's nothing super, I don't run any ads. I don't have some, like funnels or anything like that. Like I don't use any of that stuff. I didn't have to do any of those things. You don't have to do anything you don't want to do. And I'm starting to become interested in funnels and ads now. So eventually I will do that. I think it's going to be a lot of fun, but I haven't up until now. So I haven't done it. What I've been interested in is showing up and being vulnerable and having a real voice for people and doing the work on the back end for me to become the human being that I've been looking forward to being. That's what I've been wanting to do. And so when I do my work on the back end and I hold that power for everything else works. Yes, Marlene. Makes total sense. So basically everything I'm sharing you guys tonight is why. Take advantage of the success of other people. Success leaves clues. Yes, thank you, Amanda. You have deeper connection and higher frequency. Absolutely. And you have the voice and the wisdom and the power and strength, and there is a path behind you. Let me just tell you, energetically, maybe you understand, maybe you don't, doesn't matter. But what I'm telling you is energetically, when there is a path behind you because you have forged the way and you have done the work and you have been the thing that you're hoping your clients will do, and you've actually done it yourself, that's very visible and obvious to other people. We don't know what we're sensing exactly, but that's what you're sensing. What you're sensing around me and the other people that you admire is they've done the work. They have that strength and that power to back themselves, right? Oh, so good. Okay, let me see if there's anything else I wanted to tell you guys. Oh, yeah, the only other thing that I wanted to get into is this whole pressure thing. So people are afraid. Okay, when you feel fear is just, it's calling you to more. You're being called to more. Like I feel fear, I feel resistance about doing that. And the time you feel the most fear is right before you're taking action that you're supposed to take to expand. That's when you'll feel the most fear. And so a lot of people get it mixed up, right? So your brain's job is to get you to do whatever you did yesterday and the day before. And that's your brain's only job. Nothing else. Just do whatever you did yesterday and the day before. And your soul's job is to expand you and bring you to all the things you have not done. So it's our job to use our brain to back our soul and to not dismiss our soul because our brain is telling us this is scary, or what if this doesn't work out, or what if I sound like an idiot, or what if I do my best and it doesn't work? Like everybody's nightmare, like, okay, I'm really going to show up, I'm going to do this, I'm going to invest and it's not working. That's like everyone's investment. It was less scary when I was half-assed showing up. No, half-assed showing up feels like death. It feels like dying. It's awful. When we're fully committed and we're fully in, everything begins to work. But there is a phase in the beginning where we're like, oh, what if this doesn't work? And people are terrified of that. But I just need you to understand what's going on in the human body. Of course, everything in your body is going to tell you not to do that. It doesn't know that you're going to be safe, but your soul does. And your job is to use your brain and your wits and your smart and your creativity to back your soul. So when your soul is calling your ass to something, you're like, oh, fuck it. I don't know how this is going to work out, but I'm doing it. That's it. I'm in. And you have that impulse and you have that leap and you just leap off the cliff and you're like, fuck, I hope I fly. I really hope I fly. And maybe you don't. Maybe you stumble down and you hit the ditch and you're flopping around, but guess what? You'll get back up and you'll be like, holy shit, I didn't die. Okay, let's do this again. And the next time, maybe you soar just a little bit more. And then the next time, maybe that's the time you fly. I don't know if you're going to fly the first time, the second time, or the third time, but I'm telling you, you will fly. And whatever you need to learn in order to be able to fly, you're not going to learn unless you're leaping off that motherfucking cliff. That's just the way it works. If you're standing there and you're the person at the edge and you're sort of looking and you're like, but I don't know, that's scary and I need proof first and I need all this, that shit doesn't work. This is what I said last night and I'm going to say it again. Your path for your life, if you are playing small, it's going to feel like I need to know how this is going to, I need to be able to see the steps to how to get there. And then I'll be like, okay, cool. Now I can go do this. That shit doesn't work. Let me tell you something. This changed my whole life, so I say it all the time. Because in case somebody hasn't heard it, it really changed my life. Your path, you will only be able to see one step in front of you. I can see the one step in front of me, like, okay, like the first time I made an investment, $26,000, like I have no idea how that's going to work out. And all I know is I can make this one $2,000 payment, and I was using my bills to freaking make that $2,000 payment. I had no idea how it was going to work out. And it felt so irresponsible and against everything that I was taught. And I was like, I definitely was freaking out, like, oh my God, I'm going to go into debt. I'm going to be in a worse position. And then I'm not even going to be able to take care of my kids because I just used all my bill money. This is so freaking scary and terrifying. But my soul said yes. So people have asked me, like, Mandy, how can you feel good about letting other people invest with you when they're using their bill money and they have kids? What? To me, the first time I heard that, I was like, you really are genuine. And I was like, oh, I could see why somebody would think that if they don't get it. If they've not done the work, they don't get it. And I was like, okay, I understand that. Because if your soul says yes, it will always work out exactly how it's meant to work out for you to have your dream life and for you to become the human being that you are called to be every single time. And I don't know what that's going to look like. I don't know if I'm going to be the one place where you invested in yourself and then you failed miserably and didn't show up, and that was the lesson you needed and the slap in the ass you needed, so you showed up the next time. Would it be worth it if that was the way it was? Yeah. Whatever it's actually going to take for you to get to the place where you're living your dream life is what I want you to go through. And I don't know what that's going to look like. For some people, they just get to, like throw it on a credit card. It's no big deal. For other people, they take it out of their paycheck. For other people, they need to go actually like create it and generate it in order for them to take that first step. It doesn't matter. It is what it is. Up until now, the way that you've been showing up has created the circumstance that you have. And if you want a new circumstance, you're going to have to do some different shit. And that's the way it works. So if it's really hard for you, I'm supposed to be like, well, I'm not really sure. I don't know if you're going to use your bill money for this, then maybe you shouldn't do it. That is sacred territory I'm stepping in. If your soul calls you to do that and you feel a hell yes, that means your soul is like, this is the journey for you to go through to expand to that next level. Why would I ever hesitate about that? There's so much friggin' abundance. And when you track your soul and you show up big, no time needs to pass for you to figure it out and for me to generate. You hear people all the time, it's gonna take 5 years before you're successful in your business. Are you kidding me? I'm gonna be like a multi-millionaire in 5 years. That's when you're gonna first start making money. This stuff is ridiculous. The people saying this stuff are not people that have had the results that you're looking for, so don't listen to them. Find the people who've had the results and the timing that you want to and listen to them and actually listen to what they're saying to you, because they're going to hand it over to you. We like to feel like good people too, right? Like, I love feeling like I'm really helping people and I watch their transformation and I watch the results they get. And of course that makes me feel good. I don't just want to make a sale. Fuck the money. Who cares about that, right? The money's a byproduct of me showing up and giving my purpose and me holding space for people. When I'm 95 looking back at my life, I'm not going to be like, yeah, I made $1 million every year. I'm going to look like I changed lives. I left a legacy. I showed up and I gave everything I had to give. I gave my soul to these people. Like, I really showed up and I spent it all. I had it there, right? Like, I showed up big and I did the best I could to have the best amount of wisdom I could and hold the biggest strength and container for the people that I love. And I really supported them. That's what's going to matter to me. That's what matters to you. The byproduct is life supports life and you'll be well taken care of because you showed up and stepped into your power. So no, I don't give a flying crap about that stuff. Sell your shit. Do whatever you need to do. I don't care. Most people can just throw it on a credit card. That's what it is. But I'm not scared of the other people who have to do that because I was that girl. Could you imagine if my mentors had been like, well, since you're a mom and you have to use your bill money, you can't do this? None of this would have ever happened if someone thought that way. It's ridiculous. It's so limiting and so scarcity. So the whole point was, it's about understanding and recognizing that to be the kind of human being who can really show up as big as you're called to show up as, and become as big and powerful and successful and known and create the transformation and the legacy that you're looking to create in the world, because you and I both know that's the thing that matters the most to you. In order for you to be able to do that, it's going to require you to have a skill to trust the process and allow yourself to take that one guided step that you're feeling called to take, and to not have any fucking clue how it's going to work out. How's that for blunt? You want clients? That's what it looks like. That's what it actually looks like. You can go build some bullshit funnel and you can do, whatever kind of ads you want to do and stuff like that. But if you have not invested in yourself and you have not walked that walk and climbed that mountain and gone, and it doesn't have to be perfect. I'm so glad this came up. Let me just say this real quick. It's never going to feel like you've arrived, like, oh, I'm here. I can just teach this perfectly now, right? At any given moment, I might feel like I feel like super wealthy or I feel super broke. That at any given moment, there's just fleeting feelings that feel either one. They're like, and I learned to dismiss either one of them. Like, they're so irrelevant, it doesn't matter. But on a day, like if I have an $82,000 day, I'm feeling super badass and I'm feeling like super abundant and super wealthy. And on a day where like I haven't made a single sale for 2 weeks, I'm feeling super broke and super scared, right? I'm human. What the hell? Of course I feel those things. It's completely irrelevant. But my work is for me to do the one thing in front of me, the one step in front of me, and to trust the process that like, this is what I feel called to do right now, and release the rest of it, which I actually do. I'm not telling you guys to do something that I don't do. I'm calling you to do what I do as I do so you can have what I have as I have. Does that make sense? This is like not bullshit. This is as blunt as I get. You want clients, you want badass, powerful clients that'll show up and do the work and invest and actually, you know, like come out on the other side with the powerful, amazing results and shout your names from the rooftop and keep investing in your shit and do life together with you. Be that human being. Be the human being who shows up that way in your own life, and you will draw those people to you. You can't not. That is universal law. It is not possible that you would not do that. Does this make sense? And it'll take what it takes, and the work is the work, and that's what it is. So if something's blocking you or something's stopping you and you're not breaking through it, there's a message for you. Something in you is being called to mature. There's something that you long for and you want in your life that the universe is trying to give to you, that God is trying to hand to you, but something going on in your life is causing a ruckus and blocking it. That's your work right there. So don't be frustrated that you're in a situation where you're not getting what you want, because all the value is in that situation. Everything for you to grow and expand and become the human being that it took for you to create the life that you want is in that circumstance that you're frustrated about and you just want to go away. Don't wish it to go away. Sit there for a moment and be like, how is this for me? No shit, I've heard that 7 million times, but for once in my life, I'm gonna freaking apply it to a situation that I'm really frustrated about. How is this for me? This is for, what in me is trying to mature? What am I being called to? What am I lying to myself a bit about? What bullshit am I putting up with that I'm done putting up with now? What do I know is not okay that's going on in my life right now? What do I know needs to be fucking done? I'm done with that now. I'm going to say what I need to say. I'm going to draw the line where I need to draw the line. I'm going to set the boundaries where I need to set the boundaries. I'm going to have the freaking conversation that I need to have. And what are you being called to that you've been pushing away or ignoring or letting your justifications or your excuses hold you back because you feel like you need some kind of proof or you need to get somewhere different first? You'll never get there. And then once you're hitting your 100K month, I'll tell you right now, you're still going to feel like you haven't arrived yet. You're not there yet. There's still more to do. You're never going to feel perfect. But when you've walked the walk, you know you have the wisdom, that you hold that space for your people, and your client list will be overflowing. That's it. End of story. Period. Did the funnel for me for the thing. It was a huge waste of time. Yeah. So the term that I've heard a long time ago, which is funny because the person that said it didn't mean it this way, but the way I heard it was like, this is what it is. When you haven't done the work we're talking about here and you create some kind of funnel or system, you're just scaling chaos. So instead of scaling badassery and wisdom, you're scaling chaos, you're scaling guessing, you're scaling whatever, right? And it's not necessary. And I'm not saying that ads or funnels are bad. I will create them eventually. And I have friends of mine that do them and do very well. They have passive income coming in and stuff like that. And I really look forward to having that all set up in my business. But it's not required. I made more money than all the people I know. I made money faster than all the people I know. And that's not to brag. It's really because I want it to lock inside of your head like, holy shit. She just told me that she was like a super fucked up normal human being and she did it that fast, and she's telling me I don't need all this fancy other stuff, and that all she really did was keep putting herself under pressure. She kept looking at what's the one next thing in front of me, and I would freak out every single time like, oh my God, I can't hire that person right now. I'm being messy. I'm getting distracted by dating. I'm distracted. I don't want to pay that person. I just want to I want to ease off the gas pedal. I don't want to invest in that mentor. I don't want to hire that new team person. I just want to ease off the gas pedal, and I want to break because I don't trust myself. I'm showing up kind of messy. I've gone through this 100,000 times in my business. And what I've learned is don't fucking do that. Don't do it. Keep yourself under the pressure, because when you do, everything just continues to work and keeps expanding. And you just learn to handle more and more pressure. Back in the day, when I first started this, a $2,000 bill was a stressful thing for me. Like, holy shit, $2,000. Oh my God, I made $400 a week. $2,000 was a big deal, right? My calibration was like, oh, I can't even picture it. Now it's like $200,000. Okay, that feels like, oh, $2,000 is it's literally eh. And I'm not saying this to be sarcastic, right? I'm not saying it to be rude. I'm not saying it to downplay for anyone else. I'm just being honest with you. $2,000 is something I don't even think about now. It just is. It is what it is. It takes me 30 seconds to make a decision about $2,000. But that's the way it works. You're saying we're just talking about money, but I'm talking about every other area of your life. It's the same thing. You're built to withstand pressure. When you allow yourself to go in under the pressure, you'll start to recognize just how much pressure you can hold while still feeling joyful and enjoying your life. While this level of fucked up shit's going on, or decision making, or pressure, or whatever, it's like waves. You have breakthroughs and then you have struggles, and breakthroughs and struggles, and breakthroughs and struggles. That's just the way it works. But you learn to just like ride the waves and enjoy the process because you trust it. And you have a sense of knowing yourself, and you don't feel like a gamble about yourself anymore. You trust yourself, and you trust the process, and you trust your instincts, and you trust you. But you have to be willing to go too far. You have to be willing to like make the investment and have it not work out sometimes, because I've had multiple investments that didn't work out, and I don't regret a single one of them. Every single thing that's ever happened has supported me and contributed to me being the savvy business human being that I am today, which is a friggin' miracle. And I would have never been able to just will that or figure that out myself, like in my own brain, just like learn from enough people and figure it out. Hell no. There's no way in 3.5 years I could have learned everything that I learned now without trusting my instincts and my gut and really making those brave, bold leaps that took me places that I could have never even imagined, couldn't have even fathomed. I couldn't have come up with that shit on my own ever. And the mentors that I've invested with that scared the shit out of me. How was I ever going to pay $6,000 a month? I was paying $10,000 a month for mentorship while I was making 30K months. That was insane. I was terrified that it was going to add up. And every month I was like, I should quit. Nope, you're not fucking quitting, Mandy, because you've already learned this lesson. Every time you quit, you just sink back. You're going to push that gas down and you're going to learn to readjust to this new level of pressure. Sure enough, you just readjust to the new level of pressure. It takes a couple weeks, a couple months, whatever it takes. I think it took 3 months to adjust to that 10K, but then you adjust to the 10K and then it's done. And then you scale. And then I had an 82K day. Because I was willing to stay in that game, and I was willing to let my nervous system recalibrate to the new level that I was being called to. And that's what's really happening. Does that make sense? All the value is in the situation, the conversation. Whoa, good stuff, Mandy. Girl, you're so welcome. So this is also how I learned so fast. Hi, Maggie. If you're just hopping on now, make sure you go back to the beginning. This is kind of a longer one, but it's so valuable. And I don't think there's anything more valuable that I could tell you than these two things. Honestly, one, everything we just covered about how to get paying clients. This is what it is. And maybe other people haven't said it because it sounds really blunt and maybe it'll turn some people away. I don't know, but it's the truth. And I'm not going to hide the truth from you guys because I'm not going to hide the truth from you guys because that's not who I am. And number two, get your ass in the templates program. And I'm not even kidding. I'm so not afraid to shameless tell you, like, get your ass in that program. I'm not kidding. Go check out the 30 templates that I'm doing. Go check out the bonuses that I'm giving you guys and understand and recognize that I single-handedly chose the things that, like, these are the things that you need to know and nothing else. You don't need to know any of that other bullshit and the stuff that people scroll out on and waste all of their time and money doing. I can't even tell you how many clients have been like, don't do it. Don't try to go find that magical pill. I'm going to find this magical pill and it's going to just make my business. Look, if there was a friggin' magical pill, if there was a magical funnel or a magical Facebook ad or a magical whatever thing that you could go do and you could learn and all of a sudden you could have a 6-figure, 7-figure business, everybody would have figured that out by now. There is no such thing. We would have all figured that out by now. I promise you, I would have figured that out by now. It's not real. There's no magical pill to doing this. It really is about you showing up and becoming the human being. That is the work. And so whatever you're feeling called to, that's what you need to do. The templates program is only going to support you in being like, now I know how to do all of these things that are critical in my business. And by the way, of course I do templates on learning how to become the person because that's the most important thing. I literally only pick the things that are like, okay, these are what they need to know in order to be wildly successful in the business. And you're not going to have to waste any time. They're all hacks. Hacks that how I've learned on being a single mother, taking care of 2 kids, going to school full time. Part of that time I was a nanny, running my business, moving, going through a divorce, all of those things. I needed to learn how to do things in a really smart, savvy way. And I needed to learn hacks to do everything and do it the way that it just gets me results, right? My clients get results and I make money. End of story. That's what matters. The fancy stuff can come later. That shit doesn't matter. So I teach you guys how to do all of that stuff in there. MandyPerry.com/templates. Oh, thank you, Susan. Susan dropped it in the comments for you guys. Okay. So some of the questions to go with are, what expert support do you need in your life right now? Just tell yourself the truth. In order to step into your power, what support do you need, right? What are you now done with? Like, I'm done with now. Go ahead and drop it in the comments. Saying it out loud is so powerful. If you're on the replay, drop it in the comments. I'm going to track with you guys too. I'm done with what now? What am I done with? What is the extra support? I know I need support with this, and I'm done with this now, right? I saw somebody message me about the Diamond Mastermind. I'll get back to you right after the program. Hell yes, if you feel called to the Diamond Mastermind, this is the time. And listen, right? I heard this from Tony Robbins, then I heard it from Amanda Francis, and I remember listening, and this was like 3 years ago. And for whatever reason, I just latched on. You know, every time you hear something every once in a while, and you really latch onto it. And it was basically never leave the sight of a breakthrough and like an understanding without taking massive action to back it. So whatever you had an aha or a breakthrough about tonight that you like, I really understand that, and you feel called to something, this is the moment for you to go and take massive action to back that. Don't wait till morning. Don't tell yourself, I'll do it Monday morning. I'll do it in the afternoon during my lunch break. You do that shit right now. Even if you have to get up this live, you get off the live and you go do that shit right now. If that's sending me a PM like, hey Mandy, like I'm committed right now, I'm doing the Diamond Mastermind, or you go purchase the templates program, or you go, on Craigslist and you find that nanny that you're looking for, whatever the friggin' thing is, that's what you go do right now. You never leave the scene of the breakthrough and the aha without actually taking action, because a decision is only a decision if you've taken action. And I really understood that, because when you have the most, it's like if you're doing an enrollment call with a client and they're like, oh my God, I really see it, you're right, da da da. And if they say, I'm gonna think about it, the chances of them joining is shit, because 5 seconds after they get off the phone, already their patterns are starting to spin. The excuses and justifications they were using are starting to spin. That's why back when I used to do enrollment calls, I would say to them, hey, I'm gonna give you a heads up right now. You have the most amount of clarity and power and courage to make a decision to back your dreams right now. And I just want to ask you if you have clarity, because if you have clarity on moving forward with this, now is the time to make that decision, because I'm going to let you know what happens. When you get off the phone, the fog is slowly going to start rolling back in, and you're going to start slowly forgetting the clarity you had, and the bravery is going to creep down, and your old patterns are going to come back, and you're going to get more of what you've had. And it's not a sales pitch. It's not a sales pitch. If something's not in alignment, I don't want that person in my program, or I don't want them working with me, especially people like, I'm working a year with these people, like this shit has to work. It is about being honest, because the truth is, the second that they leave that scene of the breakthrough where they had like that epiphany and the fog is gone, it slowly starts to roll back, and most people don't actually know that. I am done with hiding in fear, done with launching programs and getting crickets. Hell yeah, unavailable for that shit. Done. I am done with fear of having the conversation. Yes. Yes, girl. Say the thing, have the conversation, and say it with love. Say it trusting, knowing. And remember, in the conversations, it's win-win. We're looking for a win for both parties. How can both of us get what we want? Find out what the other person wants, and we have the conversation, and we set boundaries. Tell the truth. It doesn't mean anything. This is what I just went through my own year. Like, I had a cleaner that came here, and she would hang the clothes up inside out. And she hung my pillowcases up in skirts, and just like weird shit like that. And I felt really bad being nitpicky, like, can you hang my clothes up correctly? And then just this last time she was here, I was laying on the couch watching TV with Bailey. And it was like super sugary. Like, I was laying on the couch watching TV with my daughter, and she was cleaning the house, and then I had to go remind her not to hang my clothes in inside out. And of course I felt like a diva. Of course I was like, oh shit, I feel like an asshole. And then I remembered exactly what I'm saying right now. Remove the emotion. It doesn't mean anything. Well, it doesn't. They're getting paid to do what they're getting paid to do. They made the commitment that they're willing to do that for that amount of money. It doesn't matter what I'm doing. And you don't get paid unless you do the job well. So if you're hanging shit up inside out, then you don't get paid. And that's what it is. So instead of not paying them or firing them, the cool thing to do, clarity is kind. It's kind to have clarity with people, to set boundaries, to tell the truth, and to ask people what you need and let them know what you like and what you want. People enjoy knowing what you like and want, so they know how to do a good job. People enjoy doing that. The same thing with boundaries and people in their life. They might throw a temper tantrum at first. How many times has someone called you out on some shit, and then you threw a temper fit and you were like, but then 2 days later you're like, shit, you're right, I'm sorry, right? So what? Let them have their temper tantrum for 2 days. But it might sink in, right? Okay, so what is it going to look like in 10 years if you don't step fully into owning your power and committing to back your soul and actually stepping into that one next step that you know in front of you, no matter how fucking scary or unfamiliar your nervous system is? Because it's really not scary, it's fucking exciting. Super exciting. Super exciting. Like, it's a wild aliveness. It's incredible. It's amazing. It's like the greatest joy in the planet. It's so amazing. But your nervous system might register it as fear, or like, this is crazy, I'm gonna die, right? But what will your life look like in 10 years if you keep spinning the same bullshit and holding back, and you don't truly step into your power? You don't become the human being that you're looking to call people to, right? What will it look like in 10 years? And who else will pay the price? This is the shit we gotta be honest with ourselves about. It's really easy to pretend like, oh, I'm just gonna, like, we pretend that, like, oh, I'm just gonna half-ass this stuff, but that'll work. I'll still be successful in my business. No, you won't. No, you won't. No, you won't. There's a reason only 1% hit 7 figures in this field. 1%. And only 7%, is it 7 or 11 now? 11. Only 11% of people hit 6 figures. 11% of people, 6 figures. In a year, 6 figures. 11%. That's insane. So if you're lying to yourself thinking like, oh, I'm going to keep half-assing this and not showing up and it's going to work for me. Nope, it's not going to work for you. Don't hate me for it. I love you. I'm popping your bubble because I love you and I want you to hit this 6-figure years in 6-figure months, right? So we got to be really honest with ourselves. What's going to happen if we keep doing the same bullshit? And who else is paying the price with us? Because you're not the only person paying the price. How you show up as, just like how when you show up really epic and big and you give yourself everything you need to be happy and to thrive, the people around you begin to have permission. You're contributing to the kind of world where other people have permission to thrive as well when you give yourself permission to thrive. And when you give yourself a bunch of justifications and excuses and you hold yourself back and play small, you're contributing to the kind of world where everybody else is expected to play small as well. That's just the way it works. Okay. Yes. This is amazing stuff. I can't wait to hear what everybody else is done with. What are you done with? And are you telling yourself the truth? Because if some bullshit came up, say that shit out loud. It's really powerful to just own it and say it out loud. This is a safe space. We're all the same. We're all doing the same work. We're just sisters and brothers in arms, right? Okay. Diamond Mastermind is my private highest level coaching. I have one-on-one coaching. That's a year long and it's 45 minutes every single week. And that's it. You just get that. And then my Diamond Mastermind is you get calls every single week. You get access to every single program that I run. You get access to my live events. And you have, we have a weekly Q&A call in the private group, in the private Diamond Mastermind. And I give this is where I share the most stuff. I share the insider stuff to my business, things I'm learning as I'm going through my business, all those kind of things. And then you have Q&A in there as well. And then also the other option that you guys have is the Success Hacking Templates program, which begins September 16th. It's crazy shit tons of value. Yes, of course, if you're interested in the Diamond Mastermind, you get access to the Success Hacking Templates. And I also have a membership area most people don't know about. It's called the Millionaire Mind membership. So that just has a whole huge library of, it's a library of resources, just massive amounts of resources in there. And then once a month we do Q&A in there as well. Oh yes, done with staying so quiet. Yes, Linda. Who else? What else? Say it out loud. Use this time wisely. This is the time to be bold. When that fog removes, you say that shit out loud. You own that shit and that's done. And by the way, let's see who we have here. Ruth, Jackie, Marlene. I know her Marlene, but I think your name's Marlene. Marlene, Linda, it's done. Done, released, to never return, end of story, no ifs, ands, or buts. I don't care if this is a free Facebook Live. That shit is shifted and it's done and to never return, and you are scaling to the next level and you will never go back to that place, end of story. Do you understand? That's how we roll. That's how we move. You commit to something, you decide, it's done. Energetically, no time needs to pass. There's not a time thing. I choose and decide I am this today and I am this today, end of story. That's it. Right? So you decide and you choose, and now your job is to back that up. What's the next one thing that I would do? If the highest level version of me, who didn't stay quiet, if she was running the show, what would she do? If I was embracing fear, and that was my buddy, and I knew that was a compass showing me where to go, what would I show up and do next? Right? If the highest level version of me was not afraid of having conversations, the highest level version of me feels very confident and savvy in having conversations, what's the one thing that I would do? Right? This is how we look at life now. That's it. It's done. It's powerful to say this shit out loud. Don't underestimate the work that you just did. Hell yes. Oh, I see one question coming through in Messenger about the templates program. So, yes, thank you, Susan. PM me directly for the Diamond Mastermind. Everyone in my Diamond Mastermind deals directly with me, not my team. If you have questions on the other stuff, my team is support@mandyperry.com. Here's some of the things we're going to cover in the templates. Somebody just asked through the messenger. Routine hacks. I'm teaching you my best routine hacks for the morning. I don't care if you're traveling all around the world, no matter what you're doing. If you have children, I'm teaching you my routine hacks. You guys are going to love those. Goal setting. No bullshit. This isn't like a fluffy, I've heard this before. I'm giving you some powerful shit for you to really actually reach your goals. This is not like, like SMART. I have the SMART goals in there because it's something that you should probably know about. So it's measurable and attainable, but that's only so you know if you reach the goal. But the process I teach you on how to reach your goals is no bullshit, right? Obviously, if I was a welfare girl who went through traumas and all that stuff, in order to scale as far as I've gone, can you imagine how many things needed to tweak and adjust inside of me for me to feel worthy and powerful now? The welfare girl who was like told I was stupid my whole life, I was a stupid blonde my whole life, like massive amounts of stuff. I know how to reach a goal. I know how to set and reach a goal, and I give you guys that hack, okay? How to blog daily in a way that calls to your highest end client. Did you know that there's a way to specifically speak to your highest end client? Yes, there is a way to do that. Most people have no clue about this, just never even been on the register. I teach you how to do that. How to Facebook Live magnetically and actually make sales on your Facebook Lives that convert. A lot like I did tonight. I break down exactly what I did tonight for you guys on this. That's what I do, right? Like, are you curious how I'm able to give so much value in a program like this and then also make the sales? I break it down and teach you. There's a lot of things that you probably wouldn't think to know. How to add a call to action to your messaging so that you're always making sales in a really loving way that doesn't feel slimy or creepy to your people, right? Got to run your welcome, Ruth. I'll talk to you this week. Done with doubting my niche? Hell yes, Jackie. Keep saying it. Yeah, keep dropping your I'm done with. We're locking that shit in. We're done. Energetically, we're done. I'm standing with you on this. We're going to call this shit in, right? My daily process, I'm going to hand over. Like, this is my actual daily process that I use to run my entire company in life. I'm breaking that down for you guys. How to create your new offer step by step. I do this on 2-hour calls with my clients. I charge $2,222 just for this right here. Just for this right here. I'm literally breaking it down for you step by step on how to create your new offer. Yep, everything, all of it. That's just one of the 30 PDFs, right? How to always have powerful things to say. Everybody wants to know that one. You're going to shit when you see how easy this one is, okay? You are. You're going to be like, but people don't do it. They don't. Consistently, unanimously, the thousands of clients I've worked with, they don't do it. So I put that one in there. How to take professional looking photos with your iPhone with nobody else around. You guys are going to laugh when you see what I do. I was almost embarrassed to admit it, but whatever. You guys, I hack everything. I make everything so stupid easy and save the most amount of money and save the most amount of time. End of story. How to sell using your Instagram stories and your Facebook stories. Like, do you know how to sell on there? We're going to talk about that. Bringing leader energy so you're attracted, what we're talking about right now. Here's one, right? I'm going to teach you how to own that leadership energy so that you're attracting those high-end clients. I'm going to break that shit down for you, okay? Releasing fear about anything and actually showing up. Again, this is like the goal setting one. This isn't some fluffy bullshit. This is powerful. I'm going to teach you how to break through any fear that you have and actually show up. So every time you're like, oh, I'm nervous to do that, but then you actually show up and back that up. I'm going to teach you guys how to do that. Breaking any bad habit right now. Creating a powerful global brand. Done super easy. Really freaking easy. How to hire and then lead your team. This was the hardest thing out of everything I ever had to do in my business. This was the hardest. The whole leading the team. And a lot of it had to do with the story I just told you guys, right? Like feeling like, oh, I'm sitting on the couch and she's cleaning and then I'm also going to nitpick what she did, right? It's like those kind of vibes. It's not feeling like you can just say the thing without emotion. I'm going to break that down for you guys and I'm going to teach you the mistakes that I made, how to save money when you hire your very first people or you scale your team and want to hire new people. I'm going to teach you guys how to do that. I don't go into a lot of like all back end detail because I feel like I'm still learning, but I know the mistakes that I made because I was really bad at this area in my life, like really, really bad. And I can teach you the mistakes I made and how to avoid those mistakes when you're hiring your team. How to get the most value out of anything you invest in and learn. Probably, well, I don't know what it feels like the most savvy thing that I could possibly teach you. The most savvy thing that I could probably teach you is how to get the most out of all of your investments, which is actually something that I taught once before because I realized people actually don't know how to do that. I have to teach people how to do that. Closing the sales in Messenger. Do you know you don't have to do enrollment calls? You can actually do it through Messenger. I love doing it in Messenger. Savvy money flow over multiple six-figure business. So I teach you like how to put, like what to do with the money, where should it go? How do you save tons of money running your business stuff through credit cards, all that kind of stuff I teach you. Journaling for actual breakthrough. Now this is like the fear one and the goal one. This isn't some fluffy bullshit. I'm going to teach you tangible things to actually have breakthrough in your journaling. Because if you're just doing some arbitrary shit in your journaling, you're not going to have the breakthrough you're looking for. So it's just going to be like, check, I did my journaling, and it's not going to get you the results you're looking for. I'm talking about journaling in a way where you actually, it moves you and it changes you as a human being, and it's effective. And I promise you, you're not going to miss journaling because when you know how to do it effectively like this, you're not going to want to miss it. That's just how it is, right? Things that work, we keep doing. How I would make my first 10K if I was starting all over again. That one's super valuable. How to repurpose all of your content. Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. We break all that down for you guys. This shit took me years to figure out. I can't, like, this is so, I'm like, okay, I'm getting a little bit triggered. Like, oh my God, I'm giving this much value. It's so much stuff. I hope you guys see the value here, right? Sales page copy. I'm going to hand over actual sales page copy. This is how you write a sales page that actually sells. Proven ones that I paid $10,000 to learn. I literally paid $10,000 to learn this. I'm handing it over as one of the 30 PDFs. Create your online course, start to finish. How to hire a team without being overwhelmed or wasting money. What to post besides a blog on social media. If you're not posting a blog, what else are you posting that's actually creating and contributing to your business? Know your niche and your true voice. This one is so big. It's going to clear so much bullshit out of the way for you guys. Instantly feel worthy of a highly priced program. I've actually done this for years. It's a tangible thing that I do when I charge like $12,000 on a sales page, or I charge $20,000 or $40,000 for something I'm doing. This is what I do on the back end so that I feel really confident and powerful behind that. So you'll know how to raise your prices and feel really good about it. And everyone I've taught, they're like, oh my God, that's amazing. Every single person I've taught, they're like, thank you so much for teaching me this. Instantly, oh no, I already did that one. Knowing what to do next, always know exactly what to do next in your business to scale. Yep, I'll back that one. You watch. I'll back that one for you guys. Up-leveling your entire life over and over and over. This is when everyone starts to ask, like, hey, how did you do that? How did you actually do that? Like, how did you scale all of this? And people are sort of mystified how you do that. I break it down. It's very, very simple. Not hard once you see it. And my biggest hack for making money right now. I'm not going to lie to you guys. This one's a challenging one to show up for, but it friggin' works. And you will never, ever have to worry that I don't know how to make money if I need to right now. You will know. You might not like doing it at first, the first few times, kind of like meditation or something. It's like, it works and it gets you massive results, but you kind of don't want to do it at first. It's one of those ones, but it really works. I'm telling you, it works, right? I learned it from someone who had sold hundreds of millions of dollars in sales, and they taught it to me, and I've used it ever since then. For the last 2.5 years, I've used it. Okay. That is just the stuff that I already know that I'm doing. I'm also going to be creating content based on what people ask for and what I see that they need throughout the group, because I mean, all that stuff's going to be all done. So as I'm going through, I'm going to be supporting you guys and creating more stuff. Plus we have bonuses. The first 10 people get the bonus Q&A with me. There's 2 bonus training videos that are 2 hours on there. There's 2 audio bonuses on there. I just literally gave you guys so much shit. I don't know. I just feel like I loved you very much and I wanted you to have everything that you needed. So, and I scanned the whole business. In order to run a global business, what are the things that you actually need to have solid and need to have the hacks for, so you're not wasting your time and your money going outside of those things. And you know, like, you know, let's say for the branding one, right? Like, so most people don't know, you don't, like, if you're going, first of all, you don't need a friggin' logo, but if you want a logo, let me teach you how to do it really stupid easy and really stupid cheap. You know what I mean? So you're not paying $1,000 for a freaking logo that you may hate 6 months later, because I already know all these things and I've already made all these same mistakes, right? It's all this kind of stuff. Woo! Okay, so that's mandyperry.com/templates. My team dropped it in the links for you guys. I wonder if I can, I don't think I can pin it. Nope, I can't pin it. Okay, I hope you guys got a ton of value. If you're on for the replay, hashtag I'm here. If you're new to me, please let me know that you're brand new so I can come say hello to you and I can welcome you personally. I'd love to just see who the new people are. Let us know where you're from. Let us know what ahas you have. If you feel like you got a lot of value from this video, please share and spread the love so other people can get the same amount of value. If you have any questions, if you're interested in the Diamond Mastermind, just simply PM me, and the rest of you I'll see in the templates program, because I'm really, like, I'm going to say this super boldly. If you never do another program of mine ever again, do the templates program. Do not miss out on the templates program. Holy crap. I can't even, like, I have nothing else to say. Just don't miss out on it. If you have any questions about anything at all, just let me know. Oops, you're so welcome, Donna. I'm so glad this served you. I'm so glad it served you. Okay, I love you guys very much. Have a fantastic night. I'll see the rest of you on the replay, and I'll see those of you who join us moving through in the group. I already see sales coming through, so I'll see you guys in the templates group. And that is all for tonight. Thank you guys. Love you. Have a great night.